feel very lucky to live in New York because the running community here is just insane. So those are the paces that I personally am going to be training towards. Hello and welcome if you are new, and welcome back if you've been watching for a while. I am Vicky, I'm 25 years old and I live in New York City. I may have been avoiding making this video for some time because I'm procrastinating and I don't want to think about it, but we are officially 20 weeks out from the New York City Marathon, which I am running with Team for Kids charity, and we have a lot to discuss. This is the start of a series. I'm going to be doing at least bi-weekly updates on my marathon training, but today's video is all about my plan, my goals, where I'm at, how I'm feeling, and we're going to get right into it. I am terrified, but excited. Okay, let's talk where I'm at right now in this very moment. Like I said, we're 20 weeks out and I've been doing a lot of running, especially since moving to the city. For those of you that don't know, I moved to New York City the first few weeks of March. And when I was living in Portland, I was a runner. I wasn't taking it super serious. I had run a few half marathons and trained for those and run a couple other races. I've got some videos up about that. But since moving to the city and joining run clubs and some other groups, I have really upped my not only intensity, but also my weekly mileage slowly but surely. Now, looking at where I'm at right now in the middle of June, I am averaging about 35 to 40 miles a week. And I'm running probably 5 days a week, 6 randomly if there's like an event or run club that I want to go to. I'm going to show you what kind of my week looks like, but essentially I go to a few run clubs in the city. I've got Endorphins Run Club on Mondays, and round trip that gets me to about 9 miles. Tuesdays are kind of a toss-up, but I did just join Brooklyn Track Club here in New York, and they've got speed workouts, and so it kind of depends on the mileage. I also go to Solid Core on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Wednesdays, I have Dirty Bird Run Club, which is about 7.5 miles round trip. Thursdays is my toss-up day. I always go to Solid Core, but sometimes I'm running and sometimes I'm not. Fridays are a complete rest day, or I will go on the Peloton if I feel up to it, but sometimes I don't. Saturdays are a long run. This can literally mean anything 8 to 13 miles. It depends on the week. It depends on what's going on. Depends where I'm at. And Sunday, if I did the Peloton on Friday, Sunday is a complete rest day. If I didn't do the Peloton on Friday, I probably will do it on a Sunday. So that kind of is my weekly schedule at the moment. I just posted a week of workout videos if you want to see a more in-depth version of this. But given that most marathon plans have you starting out anywhere from 25-ish miles a week and working your way up to 40. So I feel like I'm in a really good spot for a marathon plan. I used Hal Higdon's, is that how you say it? Run with Hal for my other half marathons, and I really liked his plan, but my base mileage at the beginning of those was pretty low. So I needed that full plan to work me up to the peak mileage. That being said, the plans that I'm looking to follow kind of have me starting out in the lower range, and I'm not going to lower my mileage to then work back up. I'm going to continue building my base. So I'm 20 weeks out, and realistically, I am not going to follow a 20-week plan because I'm just going to keep my mileage where it's at until I get to that point in the plan where they're already at 40 miles a week, if that makes sense. I am going to be switching up my workouts a little bit though to make sure that I'm hitting the correct paces, which I'm going to talk about later, and hitting speed and tempo workouts. Because I am a member of so many run clubs, I feel like I have access to a plethora of information about this marathon, about training plans and cycles and weekly mileage and the whole thing, and I feel very lucky to live in New York because the running community here is just insane. And I'm a member of Endorphins Run Club, and if you watch my week of workouts or my TikToks and Instagrams, you will see that I always go to Endorphins on Monday mornings. And what's really cool is that Endorphins is actually offering a New York City, actually any fall marathon training program that has a ton of benefits to it. It is a paid program, but you get access to a world-renowned coach, Rebecca Stowe, who works with Nike training. She's trained hundreds of athletes, and she's coming in to help shepherd this program with Tyler, who is the founder and kind of owner of Endorphins. And she has curated a plan from anyone to a beginner to an advanced to get to the finish line of your marathon. And again, could be any fall marathon. So I am going to be participating in the program in that sense, but I'm kind of tweaking my plan a little bit because of the way that the workouts with Endorphins is structured and my personal preference for training for something. I'm basically doing a little hodgepodge mix of the two, but the Endorphins program also comes with some other benefits, such as access to the community and asking questions to Stowe. You've got access to a physical therapist who curated a durability program specifically designed for you if you have any injuries. So I've got that for my warm-ups and my cool downs and kind of my recovery days. And you also get access to just the Endorphins community as a whole. They're gonna host long runs, they're gonna host speed workouts. You've got a lot going on with that program. So I am going to be participating in that. I am also a member of Brooklyn Track Club, and this is new for me because these workouts are absolutely killer, but they have a couple of different workouts for the week. I usually go on Tuesday mornings. It's a speed workout on the track. I have been posting about that on my TikTok mostly, but as I get into this series, I will definitely be posting more about what's going on with Brooklyn Track Club. But what is nice is those speed workouts are also curated and designed for those running the New York City Marathon or fall marathon. So the coaches there kind of have it aligned to other training plans, and it also matches up with the Hansons plan that I am going to get right into. Okay, so one thing about me, if there is research to be done, I'm gonna do it. I got this Hansons training method book, and I've had it for a few months, and I've slowly been getting through it. I've been asking around, I've been crowdsourcing, I've been doing a mass amount of research on like Reddit and marathon training and other YouTubers. You get the gist. I am the type of person that wants to have every piece of information that I could possibly have before I make a decision about what's best for me. And this Hansons marathon method just kept popping up like everywhere. It was like, I followed Hansons plan and it worked out really well for me. I did this Hansons plan, it worked out really well. So I was like, who is this guy? I've come to the conclusion that I think this plan is very well suited for me. I'd recommend buying the book if you're fully interested. There's a lot of information online as well. Also, my dishwasher's on, and I really hope you can hear me. And if you can't, that's actually my problem. Anyway, the entire goal of the plan with Hanson, and it was co-written by Luke Humphrey, which also is a very popular marathon trainer person. The foundation of the plan is built around cumulative fatigue, which means that you are pretty much training and constantly running on tired legs. So you're running 6 days a week. The longest run of the training plan, I think, is 16 miles with the option to kind of go up a little bit if you feel like mentally you need that 20 miler and you can kind of adjust that week. So I think that's my plan. But running on tired legs, the whole point and the method behind this literal madness is to get you to the point where in the race, the last 16 miles, you're prepared for the amount of fatigue you're going to feel during the race because you've been training and constantly running on tired legs. There is a free PDF online. It doesn't go into as much detail as the book, but I will link it down below. You've got your training paces based on your best effort. Get to that later. And just as an example, the beginner marathon program during kind of the peak week is 56 miles. You've got an easy 7 on Monday. You've got a speed workout on Tuesday. You're off on Wednesday. Thursday, you've got 9 miles tempo, meaning your goal marathon pace. You've got 6 miles easy Friday, 6 miles easy on Saturday, and then a long run on Sunday. So you are just pounding the pavement. And the reason that I feel like this plan is gonna work for me is for a few reasons. Number one, I'm already running 5 to 6 days a week as it is. My weekly mileage is already about 35 to 40 miles a week, which is about where the plan during week 6 starts. And the first 6 weeks of the plan is definitely a little bit lower mileage. So during that time, I'm planning to just keep my same schedule using the Endorphins Foundation and keeping my speed workouts. But the weekly mileage is not that big of an adjustment for me. And the schedule kind of works out because I already do my speed work on Tuesdays, and we know I'm going to Brooklyn Track Club on Tuesdays. So I am gonna switch around a few of the days because I like to do my long runs on Saturdays and not Sundays. So I'm gonna switch them out, but the whole point is to, if you have a really hard workout, meaning the speed, tempo, or long run, you wanna sandwich those efforts with easy days. So like if you were doing an easy mile 4 on Monday and then you do your speed workout, you don't want to do the tempo right after your speed workout because that's not going to help. So essentially I'm just going to reorder the plan to work with my run clubs, my speed work, and then having long runs on Saturday. So I started a template on Canva, and it's basically just a monthly calendar, and it has the weeks 1 through 18, the weekly mileage, and the workouts. I'll put it somewhere on the screen, but I also added my own personal calendar information, such as any trips that I'm going on or events that I need to track. And I put in the specific speed workouts. I also put in the Brooklyn Track Club speed workouts to see how they compare to the Hansons plan. They line up pretty well, so I think I'll be able to get away with keeping on with Brooklyn. And that is kind of what I'm up to on Canva. I'm gonna put in Excel solely because I want to be able to track like how I'm feeling. I know a lot of people have a running journal. I'm toying with that idea, but I end up being so digitally focused. I'm always on my iPad or my computer or my phone. I feel like I'm gonna forget to like jot down the notes, and I want to like remember how I felt, what pace I was going, and I also track on Strava and Nike Run Club. So that's where we're at right now. I'm feeling pretty solid about this plan, and what's nice about this is that it all pretty much lines up with the Endorphins program as well in terms of days. Like they do their long runs on Saturdays, they do their speed workouts on Wednesdays, but I'm just gonna flip them. And it also lines up with like the easy mileage workouts. And so I'm feeling really good about having that community with Endorphins and then kind of tapering in this plan as well. And I am ready to adjust if need be. This is gonna be a series, so every week, once I figure out if this is gonna work for me or not, I'm gonna adjust. I've got Coach Stowe to reach out to with Endorphins to figure out how I'm feeling, ask any questions. I've got my physical therapy. I am going to adjust. So if I feel like 6 days a week with Hansons is gonna be too much, I'll cut it back to 5 and kind of adjust the mileage in between. But I'm gonna keep you all updated on how I do that. I also have a couple of races that I'm running because I'm doing the 9+1 program with New York Roadrunners so that I can get into the marathon next year. I don't know why I'm already thinking I'm gonna run the marathon next year too, but I was like in too deep. I've already run like 4 races, so I was like, I'm just gonna keep going. So I've got like a 5th Ave mile race, I'm doing a 10 miler, so I'm gonna have to do some adjusting, but that's what's nice about this Canva template is I can kind of just move stuff around and same in Excel, and I'm definitely a visual person, so this is working for me. Now I'm cracking open a cold one, and let's talk expectations and goals. Now, my absolute #1 goal for the marathon, if you take away this entire plan, the intensity, whatever it is, my entire goal is to cross the finish line without needing medical assistance and to feel strong at the finish. Like, I don't want to be crossing the finish line feeling like I have absolutely nothing left to give in the sense of like, my body's going to collapse. Like I want to cross the finish line being like, okay, I gave it my all, but I don't want to be dying. And I've seen so many videos of people crossing the finish line, like collapsing. I'm like, I don't want to go that hard. And also keeping in mind that the New York City Marathon is elevation city, and it's not flat, it's not fast. That being said, given my current level of fitness, my weekly mileage, and my past races, all signs point towards me personally being able to finish below the 4-hour mark. That is my A goal. Anything under 4 hours, I would be thrilled by, given that it's a fucking marathon. That being said, the endorphins program with Coach Stowe and the Hansons plan both have pace charts that tell you kind of where you should be at based on your level of fitness, and I'm saying 4 hours, but technically I could be anywhere in the 340 to 350 range. So those are the paces that I personally am going to be training towards. Coach Stowe gave us this incredible pace chart, and it's very similar to the one in the Hansons book. It's off by like a few seconds, but it's all relative. And it basically tells me that if I want to hit this goal time, I need to be running my long runs, my speed workouts, my tempo workouts, and anything else in between, like my easy runs, at these paces. So for example, if I wanted to finish in 3:45, my easy recovery pace is anywhere between a 10-minute and 9:40 mile. We've got our tempo pace at 8:35 per mile, and then, you know, you kind of get the picture. So if I'm going out on a tempo run and I want to hit 5 miles at my marathon goal pace, I need to be running an 8:35 a mile for that specific workout. My easy days are where I need to leave my ego at the door, because I'm someone who looks at their watch, and if I'm not running a certain pace, I get in my head about it. I'm like, you're running slow. There's no such thing as running slow. But relative to the paces that I run, it feels slow to me. I need to check my ego at the door. 10-minute miles are going to assist my training. Those easy days are allowing your body to recover so that you can go harder in the harder workouts. Keep your easy days easy and your hard days hard. So those 10-minute recovery miles are going to be essential, and I'm committing right now to running those easy days easy. I'm also doing cross training, and I go to solid core, which I absolutely love. And I'm gonna continue to do that. I'm gonna keep the hard days hard. My friend Catherine, Fast and Flow, just did a podcast episode all about her New York City Marathon training. She's an absolute beast. And she was talking about keeping your hard days hard, and she's going to stack her cross training on her speed and tempo days, which is exactly what I am planning to do. So built into my plan, if I'm going to Brooklyn Track Club in the morning for a speed workout, I'm gonna hit solid core right after, because you might as well just wreck the body while you're at it. Very exciting update. I got these bad boys, the Normatec compression boots. Part of the Endorphins Marathon training program is you get access to a physical therapist, and I tried these boots and my legs were feeling fresher than ever. This will be a part of my marathon training. I'm gonna be talking about my recovery, what works, what didn't, what I thought was worth it. So it's time to unbox these big old boots. This comes packaged very nicely, I must say. I'm getting some TikTok content. I could probably use some scissors, but it's fine. Boot number 1, boot number 2. This is the hose that like connects the air thing to the boots. I'm not an engineer, but you get the point. Okay, this is the current situation. This is where I'm always sitting on my couch, so I just have it plugged back in the corner by the lamp so you can't see all the wires. Little starter thing over here. I don't know the words for any of these things. And then that part plugs into these when I want to use them, and it has to charge up for a little bit. And then I'm thinking when I'm not using it, I can just put it in this back corner because you really can't see anything. So I will report back once I actually use them. Okay, it's a little later now. I just did my skincare, and I'm gonna plug these in and try them for the, well, not the first time, but try my own for the first time. This is the most ridiculous thing I've ever done, but I have no regrets. Plugged in, zipped up, and there is also an app for this that you can control on your phone what you want it to do. Here we go. Also, I realized I cannot turn off the camera now, so it's just gonna roll until it dies. Oh my God, this feels so good. And there's little zone boosts, so you can do feet, calves, knees, lower thighs, and upper thighs. I can't speak. And you can activate a zone boost that provides an additional level of treatment for a specific zone. This is incredible. I'm literally just gonna sit here all day, every day. Okay, my camera definitely died because I literally was just sitting on my ass with those compression boots on, and it was 10 out of 10 incredible. I feel like I got literally new legs when I got out of them. And let's talk a little bit about recovery. I have a foam roller, I've got the compression boots, I have a Theragun muscle massager, and I am big on recovery. I have an Oura ring, I have my Garmin. I'm big on data, I'm big on recovery, and so my plan is to make sure that not only I'm taking my easy days easy, but also recovering and actually doing my warm-ups, doing my stretches. Like I said, I have a personalized durability program from Blake at Finish Line Physical Therapy here in New York through the endorphins program. So I'm going to be doing those stretches and making sure that I'm actually letting my body recover, or else all of this work isn't going to be worth it and I'm not going to be able to cross the finish line the way that I want to. So I am also big on nutrition. I eat pretty well throughout the week with the obvious ice cream runs. I live a very balanced lifestyle in that sense. I'm not cutting out any foods. I'm just mindful about making sure that my body is being fueled properly, which means high protein intake, high water intake, and just making sure that I'm getting the nutrients that I need. Sleep is a big one for me. My Oura Ring scores are like my personality trait at this point. I love waking up and seeing that my sleep score is optimal because there's nothing better. I take my sleep very seriously and I'm not too worried about getting in the recovery because I feel like with my cross training and the recovery that I'm already doing, I do a pretty good job so far of making sure that I'm taking care of myself and listening to my body. I'm extremely in tune with what's going on here, and I feel like if I wake up one day, I know that something's off or I need to take an additional rest day, I am absolutely going to be doing that. And so I am just really excited, honestly, because I feel like I have all the necessary components to have a successful training season and a successful race. I'm excited to watch this video back when we get further into this series, but I'm feeling excited. I'm gonna do a bigger check-in at the 18-week out mark because that's really when the training is gonna ramp up. I have a couple trips coming up, so I feel like that 18-week mark is really gonna be the kickoff for me. So I'm gonna check back in then, but if you have questions about the plan or the program or just anything marathon training in general, feel free to leave them down below. I'm also documenting this entire journey on my Instagram and my TikTok, so you can follow me there. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe so you do not miss the rest of this marathon training series, and I will see you in the next one.